Wouldn't it be great if someone helps you write Python code? Well, more specifically, Pandas code. Also, wouldn't it be amazing if you can generate visualizations in Matplotlib or Seaborn using natural language? Well, taking the discussion forward from my previous video on GPT-3, in this video, I'll show you how you can generate Pandas code and amazing Matplotlib visualizations using GPT-3. So without wasting any further time, let's get started by first installing OpenAI package and then later importing the necessary modules. In order to access the GPT-3 model using the OpenAI's API, you will need a secret key. I have the secret key in a file called as gpt_secret_key.json, which I load into a variable called as data. In order to actually access the value of the secret key, I'll have to reference the key called as API_key and save it into a variable called as OpenAI.API_key. So let me run this cell. If you've seen my previous video, then you would require a file called as gpt.py. If you want like a simple walkthrough before you jump onto this video, I'll attach the link of my previous video. So feel free to watch that video and come back to this video again. So I'll be importing the GPT as well as the example function from the GPT file. So let me run this cell. Let me also create the instance of a GPT model by specifying the engine, temperature and max tokens. In order to create some Pandas code, you will have to supply the GPT model with some inputs as well as outputs. Before I go on to do that, let me first create a simple data frame. So this is the content of my data frame df. I have three columns: gender, division and marks. Gender and division columns are categorical, whereas marks is a numeric column. Let me go forward and add examples to the GPT model. So essentially, in order to train the GPT model again with your custom data set, what you will have to do is you will have to pass in input and output in the form of examples. The first input to your example is the actual input value. So the task in hand that I have is I want to generate Pandas code using natural language. So I want to speak in natural language and I want the GPT model to generate the Pandas equivalent code. So this is the natural language input that I provide to the GPT model. That is how many unique values are there in division column. And corresponding to that, this is my output that I'm trying to feed in. So I say df of division dot n unique, which will return the total number of unique values in the division column. So let me run this cell to add this example. Let me add another example. Again, just to reiterate so that all of us are on the same page. The first part of the example input is basically the actual natural language input that you want to provide. That is, I want to find the average marks scored by girls. And the Pandas equivalent command for that is what I have given as a second input. So let me go forward and run this cell as well. The uniqueness of GPT-3 is you can get a really good working language model with very little examples. So I've just trained it on 3 examples. The more examples you provide, the more complex relationships it is able to learn. Let me now go forward and show you the power of the GPT-3 model. I have an input which is display the division of girl who has scored the maximum marks. So this is the input. I pass on the input that I just created, which is saved in the prompt variable, into a function called as get_top_reply, which is a method of the GPT class instance that we just created. So let me run this cell. So this is the output that you get, which is in the form of text. I have modified the response slightly so that as soon as I get the response, I am able to execute that in Jupyter Notebook. So in this piece of code, I get the response by passing in the input values. In the next line, I print that response. In the third line, I modify the response by removing unwanted characters like output and /n. And finally, whatever text is remaining, that is the actual command that is generated by the GPT-3 model, I use the eval function to run this or execute this. So let me run this cell. As you can clearly see, the first line is the actual response that you get from the API. The second part of the output is where you actually run the Python code or the pandas code that you have generated from the GPT model. So the natural language question that I had asked the GPT-3 model was, show me the division of the girl who scored the maximum marks. So the division is 2. And if you validate once I upload the notebook in GitHub, you can see that the result is accurate enough. Let me go on to the next example. In this example, I want to find out the value of the median marks scored by boys. So let me run this cell. Let me pass on this value to the function get underscore top underscore reply, print out the response and also evaluate the response that I'm getting. So as you can clearly see, the first line is the actual text which is returned by the GPT-3 model, and the next line is the execution of the pandas command in Python. So the median marks scored by boys is 55. Now that I've shown you the amazing capabilities of generating pandas code using GPT-3, let's move forward and try to create visualizations using GPT-3. For this example, I'm using a very simple dataset that most of you would be aware by now, which is the iris dataset. So let me load that into a data frame DF. Let me also move forward and show you the first 5 rows of my data frame. So as you can clearly see, it has 5 columns, 4 feature columns and 1 target column. So essentially this is a classification task. I am using this dataset in order to create some amazing visualizations on Matplotlib as well as Seaborn. Going by the standard practice of defining the input and output for the GPT-3 model, I first pass in the natural language question that I have, and next I pass in the actual command using Matplotlib. So the question that I pass in is plot a scatter plot between sepal length and sepal width. And in the actual Matplotlib command, what I've written is plt.scatter df of sepal underscore length, comma df of sepal underscore width. So let me run this cell. The next example that I add is plot a bar plot of species. It is here that I'm using Seaborn's count plot and passing in the value of species column from the data frame df. So let me go forward and add this example as well. Let me add an example for the joint plot. And next up, let me add an example for the histogram piece as well. Just to reiterate, I've added 4 examples. The more examples you feed into the GPT-3 model, the smarter it becomes. Let me now go forward and show you the capabilities of GPT-3 with respect to visualizations. So the question that I'm asking in natural language is, show me the scatter plot between petal length and sepal width. So let me run this and let me fetch the response by passing in this input value. As you can clearly see, it was able to generate the right command, that is plt.scatter df of petal length and sepal width. If you notice closely, while defining the input, I never defined the petal length and sepal width with a underscore. But when I generated code, it was smart enough to understand that petal length corresponds to petal underscore length column. So this is the amazing power of GPT-3. Let's go forward and look at a new example. The question that I ask next is, show me the joint plot between petal length and petal length. If you notice, both my axis, that is x-axis and y-axis, are the same. So let me run this cell first. And let us now validate if it is able to correctly identify both columns are the same column or not. So let me run the cell. As you can clearly see from the output, it was able to find out correctly that both my x and y values are of the column petal length. And this is the amazing visualization that we are able to create using GPT-3 and Matplotlib. Let's now go on to the final example that I have in hand. So the last question that I have in mind is, I want to see the distribution of sepal length. So let me run the cell. Let me go forward and catch hold of the response from the final input. So let me run the cell. So as you can clearly see, when I asked for the overall distribution of a particular column, it was smart enough to plot a histogram for sepal length column and give me a plot like this. So this is how amazing GPT-3 is. I hope you enjoyed this small demo that I have with respect to showing you the capabilities of what all you can do with GPT-3. If you like the content that I post on my channel, it would be really motivating if you can press the subscribe button and also press the bell icon to be notified for future amazing videos on data science and machine learning. Thank you so much for watching the video.